here with another video. And today we've got my blue Boujack that I use for the Secret Rare Showdown that I had with Joey Palladino from Crossworlds. If you guys want to see the match, it should be linked in the description. It might not be up immediately as this video goes up, but I'll add it when it goes live. It will be on his channel. And this was against a green King Cold deck. We kind of knew the leaders that we were playing against beforehand, so this deck is a little bit curved for that, and I no doubt his was also curved for mine. Which I could tell just by some of the choices he made. So yeah, so keep that in mind. But I think blue Boujack is in a good spot. I think he's a really viable leader in a lot of ways. And if not him, the packages that he has, I think could be good in other blue leaders. And yeah, so we're just going to talk about the list and then go from there. So if you don't know what the leader does, it's pretty crazy. So it's a permanent reduce the combo cost of mono blue Boujack brigade cards in your hand by 1. So that's super handy. All of them are technically 1 energy cost. That's to kind of move around their other ideas, but we'll talk about that more. So active battle once per turn, use 1 mono blue Boujack brigade card in your energy in a combo. If you do, place the top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode. So this is kind of how Egman's card advantage is, just by comboing for free and then getting the replacement of it. Obviously you don't get actual card drop, but you do. You don't lose energy for it, and you get some free combos, more or less. You don't do it every turn. You kind of do it when you need to, but that's kind of the idea for it. And then just the fact that you combo them for free, a lot of these dudes get to be played afterwards, so that's kind of nice. And then when your life is at 3 or less, or you have a blue unison card specific cost of 4 in play, you may draw 2, switch it to 1 of your energy to active mode, and then flip this card over. So just the fact that, you know, 4 is pretty heavy for units. Like, getting to turn 4 unawakened is sometimes a hefty call, but if you're able to do it, and honestly this leader is kind of pretty slow and control based, it's not terrible to do so. And if you're able to, you know, you get the 2 draw and 1 untap, which is really nice. And if you do it at a high life total, you can do it more. So it's kind of like how Sin Shenron works. On the Awaken side, it's more or less the same. So if you're able to, you know, aggressively or defensively use its effect, you know, you can combo something for your energy, Awaken, and then combo a second card for your energy in the same battle, which can be really nice. But it has that same thing. And then also you have the auto once per turn for 1 blue, choose 1 card in your hand, discard it, and you can only activate blue card skills from your hand and can't activate counter skills from your hand for the turn. When your opponent attacks, switch up to 4 of your mono blue energy to active mode. So pretty much all that means is that you know, you get to untap 3 energy, and you have to pay or 4 energy, you have to pay an energy, so it's a net of 3. But being able to do that is really, really handy, especially since you have a bunch of skills you can do that aren't counters, especially playing, you know, other Boujack stuff from it. So it's really nice. You know, the timing can be a little tight sometimes, and you have to discard a card for it, which cards are a little bit expensive in the deck just because you don't inherently draw a lot from the leader, but you do have other ways to draw cards in the deck. So that's the guy there. Let's go into the first couple cards. Probably the card that makes this leader viable in a lot of ways is the Majin Buu Unison from the new set. It's double strike blocker, which is great. Active main for 0, draw 1, and at the start of your opponent's next main phase, switch this card to active mode, and if your leader card is blue, switch it to 1 of your mono blue energy to active mode. This just like is super good. Just being able to get card draw and untap is fantastic, especially for this leader where you need to have 1 energy open to get the, you know, 4 untap. Being able to have like guaranteed energy, even if you tap out, you can have 1 left and then you can do your thing. That's really good. It also has a -1 auto when your opponent attacks with a battle card. You may choose 1 of their battle cards and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. That's also just incredibly powerful. Sure, you have to go -1 for it, but just the fact that you're able to disrupt your opponent's cards on their turn is great. Obviously, you'd want it to do it on your turn if possible, just because you get a little bit more of an idea for it. But it's strong, and it's blocker, and it resets itself with its +0. It's just, it has a lot of power in it, and I think it's just super good. It just makes this deck work in a lot of ways. And then going to our 1-drops, we've got 4 Beto the Cruel. So this is just, when this card is played, you get to draw 1, which is good. Just for, you know, you have to pay for your cycle, but it's still cycle nonetheless. And then active battle once per turn for 1, this card gets plus 11k power and double strike until the start of your next main phase. So just being able to, 1, it's, you know, double strike is pretty good, especially early game against other unisons, specifically against King Cold. They like their King Vegeta unison, so being able to just, you know, swing with Beto, use the 1, and then swing with leader to, you know, do 3 damage to it is really nice. So I did that a couple times. I think Beto's really good at that. Also, the fact that you get to keep the bonus until the end of the next turn is great, and you can also, if you want to be really cheesy, you can pay an extra 1 on your opponent's turn, and then it becomes a 26k. So you can just make sure it lives. Obviously, it's only in 1-drop, so there's a lot of 1-drop paid for that, but there's that. Goku is kind of the same idea. So instead of drawing 1, though, it's auto. When this card's played, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Boujack Brigade card with any cost of 3 or less, or up to 1 blue unison card specified cost of 4 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is mostly just to help us find our Boo. We need to play this card on turn 4. Like, there's no exceptions to it. So being able to help search it is a little bit more helpful. So there's that. And, it can give crit, which is, a little bit of extra damage. Has the same auto active battle once per turn for 1. So I think Gokua is nice, and it helps you just be a little bit more consistent. We're also running 2 of the Bujin, the Commando Negate. So this is a counter attack. If your leader card's Boujack Brigade, negate the attack and play this card from your hand. If you activate this card's counter attack skill from your energy, place the top card of your deck in your energy and rest mode. It also has a permanent. You can activate this card's counter skill from your energy by paying its energy cost, choosing 1 card in your hand, discarding it. So the leader effect, after you use the untap on the awaken side, it just says you can't use counter cards from your hand, and so this counters from the energy, so it will still work. It's just being able to have like a hard negate that you can still use, I think, is really handy. Worst case, it's just a Boujack Brigade. It just has a lot of synergy with the deck anyways, but I like running 2 of those. And then a little bit early in the video, but we're running 4 of these Zeno super combos, strictly because we care about our energy a lot in this deck, and just the fact that every time you play combo card from your energy, you place the top card of your deck randomly on top of it. So using the Zeno to perhaps either 1, get more energy, or 2, get the card that you needed from your energy into your hand can be very, very helpful. Worst case, also, you can just play this card for 1 and draw a card. So depending on the matchup, you can kind of get some extra card draw and then use the abilities there. So I don't know. I think he's really good. Being able to fix your energy with this card is way more important than having like a draw 2 bomb deck 1 with Vegeta. So that's that. So there's all the 1-drops in the Unison, and we're going to switch up to, we don't run any 2-drops in this deck, but we're going to switch to the 3-drops. And so we've got first Zangia, the Evil Doer. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck as well. Just when this card is used in a combo from your battle area or energy, you just get to draw 1 card. So this is like one of the best like draw cards in the entire deck. You always want this to be in your energy. You can always just free combo with Boujack, then you get a draw card. So you just comboed for free, and you got a draw card for free. It's a really good cycle. I don't know what else to say. It's just good for the deck. We also run 3 of the promo Boujack. So this is from the promo packs. So permanent, when this card's in rest mode, your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost greater than or equal to their current energy can attack leader cards. This is really helpful, especially like King Cold likes to play the Friezas for cheap, and so that's kind of the idea. I don't know if Joey ran them because I didn't see any Friezas in his list, the 4-drop blocker dual attacker, but this just soaks up one of the attacks from it, which is really nice, and you can play this card for 1 as long as your leader is a Boujack Brigade or Asian Destruction. And also when this card is KO'd, you get to draw a card too, so super helpful there. Just helps us like stop some big bad boys from attacking, which is nice, and get some card cycle as well for defense, right? Because you can just combo this from your drop area, play it for 1 for free, and then after you do that, if it dies, you get a draw card. That's cool. We also run 3 Gokua, the Evil Doer. King Cold has a couple 1-drops that it likes to use. It definitely likes to use the Berry Blue, and then also some of them run Paragus. So just having like a cheap way to get rid of those cards for just 1, I think is fantastic. So Gokua we ran 3 of. You can go down to 2 in main deck or whatever. This is more of a call for the deck than anything else, but it did some work. It's good. It's a big 20k too that you play for technically 1 energy, so that's also something to think about as well. But I like the card, and it's super handy. And then also we have 2 of the Beto. So this card's really good, and I only want to run 2 though. Maybe 3, maybe you definitely don't want to run 4. It has unique, which is probably the reason why, but it has unique crit, auto for 1, you get to play it for free from hand or energy when you combo it, and then auto if it's your opponent's turn, when this card is played, switch to 1 of your blue energy to active mode. So that effect works really well. There's a ruling we'll talk about in a second, so I'll put one of these guys over here to talk about it. Also has active main once per turn, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with any cost of 3 or less, plays at the bottom of its owner's deck. So that's just really handy as well, being able to pop things for 1. Turn 3 or 4 definitely turn 3 and 5. 4, you definitely want to play your boot, but you have a little bit of floating energy a lot of the time, and so being able to just get +1s for free with that, like the energy you're going to get back anyways, is really good. Speedo's good, and the auto that when he gets played on your opponent's turn, you get the energy back. That's really handy. So we'll talk about the combo for that a little bit later. It's nothing super great, but it's a little nice for the deck. All right. So going to the 4-drops, we only have these Boujacks, but these Boujacks put in a lot of work. It is a Bojack. It looks like it's Vegeta, but it's because he's like most of the card art, but it is Bojack. So it's dual attack for auto for 2 at the end of battle, which this card is using a combo from your hand or energy. You may play this card from your drop area. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of its owner's stack. This is just pops anything without Barry, which is great. And then you have a 20k dual attacker, which is super good for getting rid of unisons. Just being able to pressure the unisons with dual attack is good, and it's a 20k, so even if there's like another Majin Buu or something, it's good for that. He puts in a lot of work, and then you can like pop things on your opponent's turn. He's fantastic. He's also an EX evolve target. Or is it EX? It is EX evolve for the big 8-drop Bojack. This guy puts in a lot of work, and I think he's fantastic. So he doesn't have any protection, which sucks, but he has double strike dual attack. You can EX evolve for 5 to draw 2 cards, which can be really handy. 5 is a lot of energy, but being able to draw that 2 can help you out. So if you're either energy starved, you can, or if you need more card draw, you can do that. Or if you need more energy, you can play it for cheaper. But for auto for 4, 1 blue, 1 or 3 colorless, at the end of battle, which this card is using a combo from your hand or energy, draw 1, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of its owner's deck, and play this card from your drop area in rest mode. This also gets around counterplays because it's an auto that activates. So if you try to counterplay trunk this, it does go back in your hand, but you still get the card draw and you still get the bounce because it's not based on it playing. It doesn't have an auto when you play this. It has an auto to play it, and you just do as much as possible. So it sucks still to get counterplay trunks, but you still get some benefits from it. Also, auto once per turn, if this card's in rest mode, when your opponent attacks with a battle card, switch up to one of your blue energy to active mode and switch up to one of your opponent's energy to rest mode. So that's also handy as well. You pretty much play it. It's a big 30k rest mode dude. You pop one of their things, you get a draw card, and if they can't answer this guy, which not a lot of decks have, then you get to bring it back next turn, have a 30k dual attack double striker. And if they try to still swing into your stuff, you get the untap and the tap of their energy as well. So those, and we got one more. We got our Secret Rare Baby Hatch. This card is fantastic. It just pretty much buys us a turn. If you're playing against something really aggressive, you can just do this turn 3 and then play your Boo turn 4. That's great. Honestly, you can just win games by seeing this and playing it correctly. It's just a big 40k. It's able to make your opponent not be able to swing for the rest of the turn. So if you sequence it right, I don't know. This card's great. We all know this card's great. If you also want to play something a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more spicier, there's also Super Pycon. You play it for 4. It's an active battle to play, which is super nice, and it has some cool synergies with the deck too. So if you like that card more, you can play it. I own this card, so I'm going to play it, and I do like playing more defensively than aggressively, so it just makes sense to me. Going into our extra cards, so we've got Galactic Buster. We're only running 3, which may seem bad, but I assure you it is not. Real quick, we're going to talk about this card. So active battle, if your lead cards like Boujack Brigade are mono blue card and you choose one mono blue battle card with the combo cost of 1 in your energy, draw 1 card, then use the chosen card in your combo. If it's your opponent's turn and you use a card in a combo with this skill, place the card in your energy and drop area, and at the end of the battle, switch one of your energy to rest mode. You can't activate the main battle skills, you can't activate battle skills and copy this card for the turn. So essentially limit 1, right? So the way this card is ruled and the interactions with it is, so let's say you just have 2 energy. We're just going to do this. So we have this Beto here, right? This is our energy. We'll use Galactic Buster, combo the Beto. There we go. And then afterwards, so you have this energy open, right? We can say, all right, Galactic Battle, we'll tap out, and then we'll use Beto's effect to retap, right? Because you will play Beto for 1. And then, so let's say, so that's the idea. So you play Beto for 1, and then use Galactic Buster to tap another one, and then you untap. That's the idea. You can choose this Beto whenever you want. So like, for example, during one of the matches I had, so let's say this was, okay, so we'll say these guys were in our combos. What you're able to do, and we use Galactic Buster to get one of these guys out. you're able to combo with both these. Then you can use Beto's effect for 1. You can tap that. Beto's auto when you play it to untap the Galactic Buster. And then you can play Boujack for 4. And then after that, you're able to use Galactic Busters to tap an energy, right? Or even if you had like an extra, one more energy open too. So let's say you had this. You could still sequence it as in you play 4 for Boujack. You play 1 for Beto. You use Galactic Busters to tap. You tap something, and then you tap nothing because there's nothing to be tapped. And then you can use Beto's effect to untap 1. Since these are all finishing at the same time, you get to choose the order what they resolve. And so Galactic Buster can really help you. Beto can really help you extend your energy essentially. But it's not. You don't need to. It's not super relevant, but it can be kind of neat. But I'm only running 3 Galactic Buster because I just found so many times where I just had like 2 or 3 of these stuck in my hand and I didn't want to do anything with it. Especially with Boujack being able to combo from your energy anyways. Galactic Buster is not as relevant. But if you're playing a different blue leader with some of the blue Boujack stuff, definitely run 4 of this. But with this leader, you don't have to run the full 4. I think 3 is a really good sweet spot for it. Next up, Senzu Bean, we're running 4 because the card's good. I don't know what else to say. It's what you want to do, especially since you have so many dual attackers. You have this guy, and you have the 4-drop Boujack too. Putting Bean on this is just fantastic. It helps you out. Being able to use Bean to defend your leader is great. I think all of these, it's just a good card. We know that. I don't have to talk about it anymore. And we also have 1 all too easy. This is a negate, a counterattack. Counterattack activates in your drop area, which is fantastic because it gets around your blue Boujack effect as well, since it just says in hand. So being able to run this card is great. Just being able to use it negate and then later use as another negate I think is handy, and it definitely saved me for one of the games. We also run 2 Chilled Army Reinforcements. We're not running any Dimension Magics in this list. I know that sounds blasphemous, and when I first started playing this list I did, but I felt like I already had so much untap I didn't need it, and I'd rather play this card more. And not just like, this you have to take a life from it and you don't untap from it, but being able to have the blocker is super important, especially like if you have like this Majin Buu out. Sometimes people will have to, will swing into your Majin Buu and not give you a combo step. So being able to have Chilled Army's Reinforcements as a way to have a blocker to have your own combo step is really important. So I like the card. 2 is fine. You could probably go up to 3. I wouldn't do more than 3 though. And it helped me out a lot. I think the card is good for this list. We also probably the last kind of cards in this deck, the more of the spice. We've got 2 Absolute Confidence. It has an activate main battle, which is most of the reason I did it, right? Because you get to untap 4 energy, right? And you want to be able to do something with it with your leader. So this is activate main art battle. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less. Return to the owner's hand, then draw 1. So that's super handy. It gets a little bit of cycle and kind of puts cards back into your opponent's hand, which is worse than putting it at the bottom of the deck, but it's something, especially since it can activate battle step. And then also you can either do that or choose one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it. So that's the main reason I have it in this list. I know that King Cold really likes to end the games with a big King Vegeta swing, a big triple strike. So being able to use Absolute Confidence, even if they have 2 markers on it, using Absolute Confidence means that they don't have triple strike with their unison anymore. So you just take 1 damage instead of 3. So if they shotgun their entire hand, then you can just say, all right, well, I'll use 2 for Absolute Confidence, and then I'll take the 1 damage, and then your opponent just doesn't have anything. It's a good card. It's a good, I think, tech card for the list and can help out a lot. And then lastly, 2 Barrier of Hope. I like this card a lot. I feel like too many times that we have too much energy and not enough cards in hand. So being able to just use this to draw 2 and pop something, it just puts it back into your opponent's hand, which sucks, but it does get around Barrier, which nothing else in this deck gets around Barrier, so to have something like that is good. I'd probably run through this card, honestly, in a main. I just know that King Cold doesn't have a lot of Barrier dudes, so I didn't find it as necessary. But in general, I like having this at like a 3 of at least, just because worst case it's a 5k combo, which is fine, but being able to pop something your opponents get around Barrier and draw 2 cards, I think is too much advantage for this deck. Honestly, it just helps out the list and kind of does the 2 things it doesn't do well. It doesn't get around Barrier and doesn't get a lot of card draw, so it does both. And that is the list. I probably talked about it for way too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. honestly, if you want to just see the list, it should be Shenron's Lair. And once again, if you want to see the match, make sure to click the link in the description when it gets updated for Joey's re-upload of the match. And that's going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the list, and I'll catch you all next time.